think I may have left these seedlings a little bit too long in this tray, but they are doing so well. I'm going to walk through the process with you today. These are some really exciting hybrids, so I can't wait to see how they grow once they're repotted. The key with Echeveria is to repot them quickly because that makes them grow a little bit quicker and it gives them the space they need to create those really strong roots as well. So today I'm going to be sharing the process of repotting these with you. So these are the beauties, and they are between 7 to 8 months old. These have been under grow lights in my garage on a heated mat, and it really has made such a huge difference of how quickly they've grown and what they're looking like. So they are very green at the moment because they're getting water every 3 days. Like I say, they're on the heat mat, so it's giving them exactly what they need. So they're drying out really quickly between water. Basically got very overcrowded. So what I would say is when you are looking to repot any seedling, these are all in individual cells. So these cells are just 1 centimetre. So they are teeny tiny. But you can see now that these have completely outgrown that cell. They're overlapping, they're touching leaves with their neighbours over here. And that means it is time for them to have an upgrade, really. And normally, when I have something like this in a 1 centimetre tray, I'll level up to a 2 centimetre, but because these are so big, I think it is time to go to the next level up, which is around about 3 centimetres. So I'm just going to skip a level basically this time. And the same with these ones. So these hopefully are a Heart's Choice Sarahheim. So I have got a different video of me creating these actually, from very start of me trying to pollinate and then the seedlings, how they germinated. So I will be creating an extra part of this soon as well. But just a sneak peek, these are what they look like now. So I'm really hoping they are hybrids. It's really difficult with Echeveria when you're doing hybrids. You don't know until they are probably a good year to 2 years old if they are hybrids. Like, have they got the characteristics from the mum and the dad, basically? You don't know until later on. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they grow. And then these ones over here, I think these are definitely hybrids because they are from my Lowi and they don't look the standard shape of a Lowi. So a Lowi is quite thick and chunky, probably more like this one. So I think these ones are definitely hybrids, and it's really interesting to see how they're growing. So this one over here has got quite a lot of farina already. It's got some pink tips, but the leaves are very long and pointy, which is not what a Lowi is really known for. So I'm really interested to see how these grow. So once I get them out of this cell tray into another one, they will hopefully grow quite quickly, and they might start colouring up as well because they're coming out into the greenhouse now. They won't be on the heat mat, sorry. They won't be under grow lights. I'll be getting the natural conditions, which it's now spring, so hopefully it will be good to them and it will be kind to them, and hopefully they will absolutely thrive. So let's get started. So usually I would have my seedlings go into a tray like this, which is a 2 centimetre cell tray, and they would basically be in here until they fill up that cell. So this is probably the biggest one in here at the moment, and that needs to grow quite a bit more before I'm going to upgrade it. But the trick is to upgrade them quite quickly when you can, to make them grow quicker basically. So what I'm going to be doing today is putting them in this slightly larger tray because they really need it. They will probably just be a bit pointless putting them into the other tray, just a kind of a waste of time, because they're going to fill it up really, really quickly and maybe already be too big for it. So hopefully this tray isn't going to be too big. We'll have to get started and see. It'd be really good to look at the roots and see what they look like. But this tray is a 200 cell tray. And in here I have got some sharp sand mixed with some sieved compost and also a little bit of grit as well, just to give them a little bit of drainage. You just need to be really careful with this substrate really, because it can fall through the holes quite quickly because the sand is obviously quite fine. I always find it's quite easy, or a lot better, to just give the soil a little bit of a misting. Sometimes it's easier to handle them that way, so we'll see. But let's have a look. I cannot wait to have a look what these look like out of the pot. I can't believe how excited I am to see these roots. I just feel like this is something I've really invested time in over winter, and I just can't wait to see what they look like. So I'm hoping we have got a bit of a root system. So this is the first one, and it's always easier to repot when the soil is dry as well. It gives you a chance to have a good look at what's going on in there. I've just realised I'm just tipping all the soil over my beautiful plants. So I'm just going to gently knock some of this off, just so I can see. But to be fair, I can see some little white roots all around here, and it looks quite good. This root system is quite a good size. It's not huge. I'm just going to move that little bit of whatever that is. But yeah, I think these will look kind of a decent size in here, and hopefully that means they won't be too long until they're repotted into the next size as well. But they are looking stunning. Just perfect, aren't they? Just perfect little plants. Very proud. I don't know when this doesn't become such like a pride thing, because I have grown this from a seed from my own plant and I am so excited about it. So I'm just going to top up some of these cells because they're a little bit low when I've watered the other ones in here, because I bottom watered these. Obviously the water has compacted them a little bit, so I'm just going to quickly top them up. But I find it a little bit easier to work with the soil when it's been misted slightly, just so we can basically make a little bit of a hole in there so there's room for them to fit in. And I'm going to use these huge tweezers, probably a little bit too big, just to make some holes in here. And then I might just spray again. Just makes it a little bit more workable. But let's start. So it's literally a case of popping the little baby seedling in the hole. Simple. Yeah, so basically it will then just find its way into the soil. It will start to root and settle in on its own. So you don't really want to touch it too much and kind of mess around with it, because that just disturbs the roots. And also they're very fragile, they're very small, so you don't want to disturb them too much. I'm just going to repeat the process with all the bigger ones. So this one has actually got a little bit of a thicker root system, so I need a bit of a bigger hole for that. So I just don't want to prod around too much, so I'm just going to try not to injure that one as well. Just gently kind of press them in, but you don't have to be too particular about it. They are going to find their own way into the pot and hopefully fill up that cell really quickly and then grow. So what I have found is that Echeveria fill the cell up with the roots and then they get bigger up top. It seems to be a bit of a pattern that I've noticed when growing from seed. So I've now taken the biggest ones out of here and I'm left with this kind of size. So I think I'm just going to do this one and also this one, and the rest I'm going to leave in a little bit of sand on there. So yeah, these two are obviously overflowing the pot so they can be moved, but the other ones actually I'm going to leave in a little bit longer, because I feel like now the other ones have moved, they might get a little bit more light and might grow a little bit quicker, and they're just not ready to be potted up yet. They don't need to be moved because they're still quite small. And now I'm going to concentrate on these ones over here. So these are the Lowi hybrids, and just grab out the biggest ones. So we've got a Hyalina, one row, so that's this row here. I've tried to label these so they make sense to me later on in life, which I think they do. And then I've got my Lowi hybrid, which is 28 cells over this way. Then I've got another Heart's Choice set over here. So that's them ones. So it's time to repot these Lowis. So these ones are a little bit more fiddly because they're obviously a bit bigger and kind of overlapping. So I'm just going to really gently, I've got these kind of pointed tweezers, just really gently give them a wiggle and hope they kind of pop out without disturbing the roots too much. Beautiful. And then just repeat the process. That's going to go into there. I just need to give it a little spray, just makes it a little bit easier. I absolutely love Lowi, so it's going to be really interesting to see what they look like. I don't know what the other parent is because I did some pollinating and didn't think it was successful, and threw the bloom kind of just to the side. And then later on I thought, do you know what, they do look a little bit like they've been successful. So then I emptied out the seed pods and this is the result. So I have no idea on the parentage apart from obviously the Lowi. This one here looks really interesting. It doesn't have the standard growth point, so I wonder if that is a little bit of a cristata form, which is really fascinating. I seem to grow quite a lot of them from leaf propagation, so it'll be interesting to see what this is going to look like as a little seedling. So while I'm on a roll taking some of these out, I don't know where that one's moved over there. I'm just going to take a few out and lay them over there and then pot them up. They actually look quite different, some of them. Like this one is a lot thicker leaf than this one. That one looks a bit longer, so that's really interesting. Oh, I find it so exciting growing from seed. It's just amazing. Very, very slow process. Requires so much patience, but very satisfying. This one actually that I've just pulled out is probably a little bit small, but now I've pulled it out and disturbed it, I'm going to go for it anyway. It's really handy separating them out as well and just having a look what they look like. I've just found this one over here, which actually looks like a double head. So that's really interesting. I've got a head that side and a head that side. So can't wait to see what that looks like as well. I absolutely love this process. So this is what we have left in the tray. That will go back into the garage under those grow lights and the heat mat just to get a bit bigger, and then they can join their little friends over here. And these are the absolute stunning plants, which are now looking so fresh and so green, just perfect. Beautiful. So they are the biggest ones repotted. Like I've mentioned, the other ones are going to go back on the heat mats, under the grow lights, and have water still every 3 days. And these ones will have water probably weekly, maybe a little bit longer, just depending on how quickly that substrate dries out. It needs to dry out completely between watering, but they don't like to be dry for too long. So it's really key to keep them watered regularly to get the growth going, and they are completely different to a mature succulent at this stage. They really do like water. So I'm going to do a part 2 of this video just to show you the updates of how they grow over the rest of the season. So if you want to see that, please do subscribe. If you've got any questions about this video, please ask away in the comments. And thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one.